gonna drop a bomb on y'all. I did not have my first kiss until I was 30. Yeah, I'll leave that there. Just let it simmer. What's happening, everybody? My name is Esther Marie, author of Single Shouldn't Suck, and I talk about things society calls normal and promote a counterculture lifestyle for those desiring fulfillment. Because listen, I know we all desire fulfillment, but not everybody knows how to find it. Oftentimes we're chasing things that leave us feeling empty. So on this channel, we're going to talk about it. Now, this week I'm doing a series on my new devotional called Slay the Sexy Dragon. It's the naked truth about lust, temptation, and how we've been seduced by Satan. I know it sounds spicy, and it is. Let me tell you, it is. If you don't already have the devotional, go to the YouVersion Bible app, just search Slay the Sexy Dragon or click the link below. It is powerful. I'm already getting so many testimonies from it. It's so beautiful to see what God's doing. If you struggle with lust, if you struggle with your attraction, if you're just super frustrated with the dating climate of today and how over-sexualized it is, and even just confused in why maybe your dating life is transpiring the way that it is, y'all, let me just tell you, this is not just for people who struggle with the lust concept that is preached about pornography and sex addiction. No, it's not just about that, the physical components. There's so much more that is the spirit of this world that we are being indicted with every single day. And so subscribe to the devotional, click the link below. We are going to be doing a series every single day this week where I dive deeper into this devotional. I'm so excited. And so let's get started. On day one, I start sharing my story about the God-given art of attraction. Now, I'm going to drop a bomb on y'all. I did not have my first kiss until I was 30. Yeah, I'll leave that there. Just let it simmer. I know your jaw is dropped and probably on the floor, and I'm just giving you time to pick it up and let you know right away from the get-go that I am not like your great-great-granny who is just trying to brainwash you and make you think that it's all about the heart that you should be attracted to, okay? Jesus, the good Lord and Savior, he was a beautiful man. I'm sure he was a beautiful man because God created him, but also God gave us an outward appearance for a reason. We got to look at ourselves. We got to look at each other. And so it's okay to be attracted to the outward appearance. It's a beautiful thing, but God does look at the heart, right? And everything begins in our heart. And so you guys, if your exterior is beautiful, that's great, but is your heart beautiful? And if your heart is beautiful, it should come through the outside as well. But I want to let y'all know from the very beginning that it is not wrong to be attracted to the outward appearance. And if you believe, because I struggled with this for a time, that God is going to force you to marry someone that you're not attracted to, let me just dispel that belief right now. That is not true. God is not going to force you to marry someone. First of all, God does not force anybody to marry anybody. That is a choice that we make. Okay? That is our choice. That is our decision. And if you feel like God's highlighting someone to you and you're like, oh, that's my future husband, that's my future wife. Yep. I just feel like God's light descended on them, and just like there's an angel hovering above them saying, this is your spouse, and like you got to do kingdom work together. But I know like you don't really want to procreate, but I mean, it just feels like it's God. That's probably not God. If you don't want to make babies with the person, it ain't gonna work, okay? There's a reason why we feel this inward attraction to people that awakens an arousal that's sexual, and that's not wrong, okay? I believed that for a very long time, that I was just gonna have to be forced to marry someone that was ugly. And thank God I really was healed and delivered from that mindset, because my husband is fine and I want to make babies with him. So let's just get that cleared up from the get-go. But guys, I want to help you understand that Satan hates marriage. There is an attack on the nuclear family that God designed from the very beginning. There is such an attack on it right now. There's an attack on what it looks like to be man and woman. There's an attack on what it looks like to be married. There's an attack on what it looks like to raise our children in the ways of the Lord. And so I want to just expose right now, the attack doesn't begin the day you say I do. The attack does not begin the day you get a ring on your finger. No, it begins at inception, where Satan says, wow, another one created in God's image. Now I need to get in there, and I need to begin to just distort their belief and their identity about who they are. And as you grow up now in this fallen world, Satan is the God of this world, and he has designed this world to cause you to become confused and distracted in the journey of your discovery of your heart's desire and who he's called you to be. And as you are exploring your life and exploring who God designed you to be, there are moments where the enemy he plants seeds to confuse you in your journey of discovering your attraction through puberty, through dating, and that whole season that should be set apart to God. The season of singleness should be this beautiful self-exploration of your calling and your identity, but instead Satan wants to distract you. And so in that season, he attacks your attraction. That's the beginning point, right? Before you ever start dating someone, before you ever get into an engagement or married, you are attracted to a certain type of person. And I'm not saying it's wrong to have a list, right? Lots of people have your lists that you're like, okay, I want them to be a man or woman of God. I want them to have, healthy habits. That's not wrong. In fact, I'd say that that's a great place to start of having a standard by which you're looking for in dating. And by the way, if you're married, this is also for you, because oftentimes those who have not established this a foundation of truth in their sexual identity early on in life, and you've gotten married or you're in a relationship, oftentimes you struggle in attraction. And that's because there's roots of lust, and there's just influences of the world that can come in as you're going through life, and you don't realize the lies and the attack that the enemy has on you. So just know that's for you too. But as we grow, as we get older, we are all being influenced in what we are attracted to. Oftentimes you hear all these dating coaches out there be like, attract the man or woman of your dreams. Manifest the man or woman of your dreams. Y'all, you might be manifesting a demon. Let me just tell you, you might be manifesting the actual plan of Satan because you are trying to attract something to you that was never God's plan for your life. Instead, I would challenge that to actually focus on what are you attracted to, and how has Satan seduced you to be attracted to the things of this world, and you don't even realize it. See, daily we are being influenced to be attracted to fantasies, inspired physical attributes, and unhealthy emotional complexes that lure us away from God's original design of the art of attraction. Adam and Eve in the garden, they were beautifully attracted to each other. It was holy. There is something so beautiful about how God designed our attraction. But the minute it becomes infused with the lies of Satan and by the demonic lustful spirit of this world and pornography and the tormenting thoughts that the enemy wants to put in our mind about over sexualizing the things that God has made so beautiful in the way that he designed it, that's when we begin to distort what God created, and we get off the path of our natural attraction, and we begin to project the lustful spirit onto what we're expecting in our relationships. Now, I experienced that in my life. When me and Cody, my now husband, started dating, I had a complete picture in my head of what I thought he should look like. See, my type was a tall, dark, handsome, Italian man with the suave of Noah from The Notebook. And he had the romance of all the poetry that he would speak to me. And he literally was Prince Charming. Now, there was no man in history that could ever be the man that I dreamed and fantasized of. And so when I met Cody, I was like, oh, wow, like, you've got something different going on with you, which I like. And I was attracted to him, but the more I got to know him, I began to compare him to the fantasy that I had in my head. And I struggled with my attraction with him because I I could not reconcile the two. I'm like, well, you're not what I pictured, and you're not praying as often as I thought you would. And there was just all of these things because I was an emotional honestly. I was emotional. I would create emotional soul ties with guys that I dated, and because of that, I was always looking for an indulgence in the emotional components of the relationship and look for, these certain ways that he could make me feel in the way that I expected based off my fantasy. But that was not what God had for me. And at the end of the day, it didn't matter because there was this amazing man that I was attracted to, but I kept comparing him to all the things that I thought I needed. And I could have fully been attracted even more and felt even more for him in that season if I didn't have that fantasy, if I didn't lust after what I didn't have and this imaginary thing. And then with Cody, he had a type. He was attracted to, skinny, tan girls with a big butt and long brown hair. And I was 97 pounds. And my butt was not exactly big enough for rap artists to write songs about. Let's just put it that way. I had short hair and I was not tan at the time, but I am tan. I will tell you that. I do get real tan. And so I was nothing that he was attracted to previously to meeting me. Yet there was still this gravity drawing us together and we were attracted to each other. But in the process of our journey of getting to know each other and in our dating life, we had to confront the lust, the root of lust that were components of our past and the baggage from our past that were now coming into our relationship and hindering our love from growing. And now I know you're watching this and I know you're identifying with certain things that I'm sharing. I know that you're like, oh wow, Esther, like I feel that is me too. Okay. I've felt that way before. I've struggled in my attraction, or I just find myself never being attracted to anyone because honestly, they don't measure up. Like I'm looking for a 10. Well, let me just tell you something. If you have a metric system numerically by which you are rating guys or girls looking for the person that you're going to marry for based off of the things of this world and based off of Hollywood and based off of pornography and based off the images of lust that you're seeing surrounding our culture, even the types of women that are parading themselves in our culture on TikTok, on social media, that is a posture of a honestly, it's a Jezebel spirit. It's a sexual, lustful spirit. And that is not going to lead to fulfillment. That will only lead to further toxic love patterns and brokenness in your life. But I know that you're listening to this and you're saying, hey, Esther, I want to be free. I want to get out of this bondage of sin, get out of this bondage of lust. How do I do that? Well, it all begins with starting here, looking at how your attraction has been influenced by the things of this world. So I want you to take time and sit with God. I want you to go through what have you been attracted to in your past? What does the pattern look like of the type of person that you've been attracted to? Maybe you've even been spiritualizing it and you're like, well, he's got to go to church and he needs to be serving in all these areas. I don't know why I get a southern accent when I like talk like this, but you have this whole list of this type of spiritual man that he needs to be. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't be spiritual, but maybe your list is all based on works and not based on the posture of his heart before God. And so if you are looking for something all based on works, that is the fear of man. That is not the fear of God. So I want to challenge you guys to start reviewing and get before God and ask him to reveal to you the areas that your attraction has been influenced by the lust of this world. And I believe that he's going to expose things inside of you that have been hindering relationships, ways in which you could have a calloused heart in what you're attracted to because of the fear that you even have of what it could look like to enter into a vulnerable relationship and be fully known. So I'm believing that for you, that you're going to find freedom, and I'm excited to dive into day 2. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Click the next video. If it hasn't been released yet, you'll have to wait till tomorrow. Make sure to like and subscribe. Drop a comment below of any questions you have about this or anything that you are going through that you want me to pray for. I would love to pray over you. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow.